Sometimes the common denominator is you. I have a tendency, every environment I find myself in, when everything is going right and just the way I want it to go, I'm like on cloud nine. It's like the honeymoon phase. I'm saying how much I love it. I love the people. I love the environment. And then the minute something goes wrong, I start picking everything apart and saying, well, this is what I didn't like from the first place, or this is what I didn't like from the beginning. This is why I want to leave. This is why I want to switch. I say all this stuff, but you were there for so long and you were in love with it for so long. But the minute something doesn't go your way, now you want to roll the dice and go somewhere else. A lot of times the common denominator is you. I had a situation occur at church where somebody misunderstood something I said, and the pastor had to get involved. We had to do a meeting. Long story short, I didn't like how the situation was handled initially, and it made me feel some type of way, but I took it before the Lord, and everything is smoothed out. It's no hard feelings or anything. Now, mind you, then another situation occurs where, so for context, my church now is in a school. The church I attend is inside of a school, and we do our church services inside of a gym. So after services, we have to tear everything down because obviously it's a school and it's Sunday, and the next day they obviously have to use the gym. So there's a lot of sensitive lighting equipment and audio equipment. And then I see a basketball on the floor, right? And I start dribbling it. And you know me, sometimes I get shock value from doing certain things. It's a lot of people around. I see people looking. So I get the basketball. I start dribbling. I picked up the basketball, not for shock value, because I picked it up because I wanted to play basketball. But I subconsciously thought in the back of my head that, you know what, I'll get shock value from this. Because honestly, I've always been an attention seeker. I've always liked attention, whether it was good or bad attention. And so I started dribbling it, and then not long after that, the campus director, or the director of my church, I got disciplined by her. And I wasn't offended at first, but then later on I got mad and I started thinking about everything. And then I started thinking, when I got mad about that situation, I started thinking about the other situation where my pastor had to get involved. And we had to have that meeting because that person misunderstood what I said. And that took me back to how I wanted to address my pastor because my feelings were hurt. But then that, like I said, I took it before the Lord, and then those feelings went away. But then when I get corrected and something doesn't go the way I think it should go, then I want to tell everybody how they made me feel when I get held accountable for something I do wrong. I feel like in that aspect, I'm like an opportunist. Like I wait until I get corrected or until I'm in an uncomfortable position or somebody makes me feel wrong about something I did. And then I feel like, well, now I have to return the favor. I wait until somebody does something wrong to me to start. What I meant to say right here was I wait until I get held accountable to start telling people how they made me feel or how I feel like I was wronged by them instead of just taking the heat of being accountable. Listing out all my grievances and everything that I don't like that they did wrong. And at some point, I had to ask myself, why is it that every environment I go to, every social environment I find myself in, that this is happening, that I'm getting hurt or my feelings are getting hurt, or at first I'm loving the environment when nothing is challenging me, nothing is going against my way of things. And then the minute something goes wrong, now everything goes haywire, and I didn't like it. I didn't like this all along, but you were there for so long and saying how much you loved it. But then now something doesn't go your way, and now it's I didn't like it from the beginning. I feel like in some aspects I'm an opportunist, and that's something that the Lord is really showing me in this season. The Lord will show you a lot of stuff. The Lord will put that mirror up to you for real, and that's what he did. But I really had to ask myself, why is it that, like, every environment I go to, every school I went to like 6 different schools. Every single school I went to, I had issues with somebody. It can't be all those people. Let's say you get into it with 30 people. That's too many people for you not to be playing a role. Where there's smoke, there's fire. If 30 people are saying the same thing, having the same problem with you, they're not all lying, especially if they don't know each other. They didn't get together and say, let's scheme on Chris. Let's say this, let's say that. They're not lying. There's truth to what they're saying. And that's what I had to learn in school. That's what adults taught me in school, because I was having issues at every school I went to. And I was thinking it wasn't me. No, it's you. It's not 100% you, but a good portion of that is you, and you are the problem, and you need to work on yourself, right? So I did the same thing at my last church. Well, my last church was great. I never really had any issues with anybody, but there were some things that were biblically questionable about that church. And then, like, the people were nice and everything, but there were just some things done there that were questionable. And then the church ended up closing, and the day I found out it was closing, I was crying. But then a couple weeks later, I'm talking about, yeah, that church was questionable anyway. But when you found out it was closing, you were sitting there crying and so attached to that church and saying how much you loved it. So which one is it? It's like, I feel like I'm wishy-washy sometimes, and that's something that I'm really trying to come before the Lord about. Honestly, you know what? My prayer life is weak right now. I feel like my prayer life is like, oh, let me talk to God for the day. It's kind of like going through a toll. It's like I feel like I can't keep on driving until I get through the toll. And that toll is me praying to the Lord, right? But it's not intimate. It's like, it's like putting a lick of Vaseline on my face and saying, okay, I washed up, now let's start the day. Prayer is like my one scoop of Vaseline. But prayer should be intimacy. Prayer should be humility. Prayer should be, and it's like, that's why complacency is dangerous, because then you start focusing on other things rather than the things that really matter, which is spending time with the Lord. That's the only thing that has eternal value at the end of the day. And then I had this thing where I would consider myself the black sheep when I had all these issues with people, and I took pride in that, and I'm like, oh, all these people are hating on me, I'm the black sheep. No, you're annoying. You have an annoying personality. You're unlikable. And that's why people didn't like you. And I had a voice in my head that would tell me that, but my ego wouldn't allow me to listen to that voice.